Welcome to part 17 of my Learning Unreal Engine tutorial series. In this part, we're going to be looking at how you rotate an object. So the end goal of this tutorial is to be able to take the light switch that we imported in part 16, and now we're going to flip the switch on and off. So the general idea of how you rotate objects is there. I will be going into another tutorial after we finish up the light switch stuff that gets a little more in depth with rotating, but this is a great way to start off with it. So if this is the tutorial that you're looking for, I hope you stay till the end, and I hope you learn something. Awesome, so let's get started. We'll go games, next, first person, next, tut 17, rotators. Okay, so like we did in the last part, we're gonna go FBX importer, enable, restart now. And make sure if you didn't watch the last part, please download the light switch that is in the link below, just so that you can follow along. I've already set everything up so that it's going to work exactly how we need it to. We're not going to be messing around with the origin point outside of Unreal Engine. All you have to do is import it in and it should be good to go. So I will now import the light switch. I have it here. Drop it in, import all, exit out of that. We will save this. I'll go over to this wall here, drop both of them in. I'm going to hit E, going to rotate it 180 on the Z axis. I'm going to hit R just so that we can scale it up a little bit and it's easier to see. I'm going to turn the snapping onto 1 just so that we can place it a little easier. And now that is good. So when we have that in position, we're going to quickly make a widget. And we'll call this turn light on. Or actually, we'll save that. We'll just say rotate switch. So we will say now, once we have this, we are going to create a widget. So I will call this turn light on. Save this, go in. Like we did so many times before, we're going to take the horizontal box, drop that in, stretch that across. We will go text, drop that into the horizontal box. So fill, we're going to align horizontally and vertically. Maybe we'll do a little bit of red just so it stands out. The font 50. Let's actually go up to, what's 100 look like? That's a little big. Let's do 75. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually vertically align with the bottom, and then I'm going to put the padding to something like 500 maybe. Yeah, so see, that's not quite where we want it, but I think if we just go like 350. So that's in a pretty good spot. And then we will change this to turn light on. Save this. I'm then going to duplicate this. We're going to change this to off. So we'll say okay. And this just becomes off, and then it's good to go. Now, this is all we need to go into the level blueprints. Oh, actually, yeah, that should be fine. So we'll go into the level blueprints. I'll say keyboard event X. Now this one is, this might get a little bit weird. So this is how we do rotator. So we're going to click on the light switch itself. I'm going to right click and create a reference. So from here, I'm going to go to get actor rotation. And then from here, I'm going to go break rotator. And what this does is this is going to let us change the X, the Y, and the Z directly. So like when it's this light purple color, that's the entire vector. So it's the X, Y, and the Z, but we want to break this out so that we can control each of the axes individually. And what we're trying to do is if we hit E on this and we rotate it on the x-axis 180, then you just have the switch upside down. And that's the effect that we're going for. So I'll pop back in here and we will take this and we'll go float plus float. And then we will say plus 180 because we want it to twist 180 degrees. And then from here, we can go make rotator. So the X goes in here and then the Y just goes in like that. Now that we're at this point, we can now actually change the rotation. So this is just doing the calculation. I'll make this full screen here. So that's just the calculation. What I'm going to do is set actor rotation. And this is automatically made. We could just do this, but I find that it's kind of just cleaner this way. And this can come down here. So the pressed X, the return value goes in here. Let's compile. And this is just the functionality of it. I'm going to show you how to tie the widgets into it in a moment. So let's pop this into new editor window. Now let's see if we can get this to work. So if we go over here, right. And here is errors saying, let's read through this. Mobility of this first person example, basically this light switch here. So it has to be movable. The object that we were trying to get to actually move here was static. So if you click on this object, static, stationary, movable. We need it to be movable. So we're going to click that, hit save current. Let's play again. And now let's walk over and see if we can get a difference. So if we hit X, every time you hit X now, it's going to be rotating 180 degrees, and that's just going to make it go on and off. So let's get some widgets working. The functionality is there, but there is one more thing I want to add in. So we will say flip, flop. Put this in here, and we will create widget. This is going to be turn light. I guess it doesn't really matter because the light's not actually here yet. So we'll just go promote to variable. And this will go add to viewport. Then we can go down here, create widget, promote to variable, add to viewport again, plug this in. We don't need to get too fancy with this. So what? Oh, didn't select off here. So that's why I always like to hit compile here, save. And now what we can do here is comment show widget. This is rotation calculation. And then we'll say this is call event to rotate actor. So that's how this is broken out. Let's hit compile, hit play. Now, it's not going to function quite in the way that I want because this will only start, let me move this to the middle. This will only start when I hit X, but you know, it's good enough. And I actually didn't, there is one thing that I was missing. So when this is released, this will remove all widgets. Okay, now it should work in the way that we want. So again, the functionality is not quite correct, but like it's good enough that you get the point. So the final part of my little light switch mini series inside of the Learning Unreal Engine series is going to be the next video. So in the next video, I'm going to show you the entire thing. We're going to go start to finish on how to make a light switch turn actual lights on and off. We've sat through enough of these little tutorials. I wanted to show you individually how all of these function, but now we have looked at everything so we can pull the entire thing together. And that's going to be the first real little project that we're going to do in Unreal Engine. So I am really excited that we are almost there. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you could give me the thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you can join us for even more videos in the Unreal Engine tutorial series. There's quite a few videos to go, so it'd be really great if I see you in some of those. I'm going to leave it there though. As I mentioned, I hope the video is helpful. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a good night.